Now I want to talk about a guy who was portrayed as a villain and a scumbag. But
Dan Andrews?
we thought it was a bit well, I was going to say we thought it was a harsh
Jeffrey Epstein?
characterisation.
They're about on par.
No, but we think those are fair characterisations, and I don't think they're on par. But like
Dan Andrews worse?
But this is a guy who we think was characterised too harshly, which is SBF.
Well, in a sense, he
Sam
was.
Bankman-Fried.
Because of the
And so I just want to ask you
Anthropic investment. I thought about that, actually.
I want to ask you some questions, and you probably will get these right disgustingly because you tend to know.
Let me
this.
answer them first.
So when what's the business called again?
Anthropic?
No.
Oh, Sam Bankman-Fried.
Yeah.
FTX or something?
FTX. So when FTX was liquidated as a result of a fraud, we shouldn't diminish that. And he was sent to jail for what I think is way too long, and so
like
do
20-something years, right?
Exactly. The amount that was owed to investors, not shareholders, investors, was about $8 or $9 billion. Let's call it 10.
I thought it was a bit more than that.
I thought it was circa 10 billion. Okay, and so they forced them to sell all of their assets,
Crypto, mostly.
everything.
Yeah.
all of the assets sold.
Yeah, sorry.
In
a lot of it was
FTX.
crypto, and they had obviously the Anthropic investment.
Now, I'm going to talk to you. Remember, there was 10 or let's call it 11 billion that was owed to investors.
And investors did get it back. They lost the upside of the crypto.
Right.
Out.
So let's talk a bit about not just crypto upside, overall upside, because that was in 2023.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to ask you about 6 investments. I'm going to go from the lowest return, like multiple, to the highest. You're going to tell me roughly what you think these things are worth now, okay? If they would have held on to them.
This is the price the administrator, who was the Enron administrator, sold them all for.
Well, I'm going to tell you the original investment and what the value today is, okay? So,
do you want me to guess the value today? Or do
you're going to guess the value today, approximately. I'm going to tell you I'm going from the smallest percentage return, multiple return, to the highest, okay? So we're going to start off, there's 6 of them. We're going to start off with something called Genesis Digital. I don't know what that is.
Oh, that's the Winklevosses.
Who, what?
The Winklevi.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
The Winklevi. All right. So they put $1.15 billion into that. What do you think that's worth today?
I thought that struggled, actually.
No, they did struggle at the time they liquidated the investment.
I call it even.
$3.5 billion.
Okay.
That's the worst return of these 6. That's up 3x. So there's $2 billion they just made, didn't make.
Yeah.
The next one up is a business called Robinhood. You might have heard of that business. Stock trading
I
business.
haven't checked Robinhood lately.
So they invested, I'm going to just round these numbers. They invested 650 mil into Robinhood. What do you think that's worth today?
As in from when the FTX, because the FTX liquidated at a bad time, probably 10x.
So what do you think it's relative to their, I'm going to say.
It's worth $5 billion.
Yes, it's worth $5 billion. So that's 7.5x on their original investment. So that's pretty good. That's the second lowest return. The next one we go for is a crypto coin called Solana.
Oh, Solana.
They sold it at the worst possible time in the crypto winter. So they invested $190 million into that. What's that worth today?
$2 billion.
$5 billion.
Whoa.
Yep. So they gave that
This
up.
guy's like Warren Buffett on steroids.
This is crazy. Next one up is SpaceX. You might have heard of that business. People have heard of that. They put $200 million into that business via K5, which I guess is a fund that invested in it. 200 mil, what do you think that's worth today?
5 billion.
15 billion.
Wow.
Yep, that's 75x'd. The second top one is your mates at Anthropic.
That's the second.
The second top on a returns basis, multiple basis.
Yeah.
So they put $500 million into Anthropic. What do you think that $500 million is worth today?
So they put 500 million in, and they would have sold for a profit.
They sold for a profit. I think that's most of what got the money back for investors.
No, because they got bit of crypto money, but they sold 500 million, as in the administrator sold 500 million, or he bought in for 500 million.
They bought in. They put 500 mil in.
Okay, so it would have been.
So they might have gotten a couple of bill out of it when they sold.
Yeah.
it.
So
what do you think it's worth today? That 500 mil they invested.
I reckon it would have been worth maybe like 15 or 20 billion when they sold it, and now it's potentially $1 trillion, so 50x.
So it's 165x. That's worth $82 billion. If they would have held on to that, that would be worth $82 billion. And the biggest return, not the biggest dollar value, but the biggest return is Cursor.
They invest in Cursor as well.
They were the seed round in Cursor. They invested a number called Minimal. That's the number. And I'll ruin it for you.
Cursor's 60 billion.
Well, that's worth $3 billion. That made 15,000x. And so had they have held on to these investments, The $4.7 billion invested in these six businesses would currently be worth $114 billion. That would be the single most successful VC
by
in
mile.
the history of the world.
Better than Sequoia, better than... Sam's problem? Sam should have made a VC fund. He should have done this crypto thing. Had he done a genuine VC fund, he would have been one of the richest men in the world.
Yeah, well...
His problem was his structure. He shouldn't have stolen the money. He should have legitimately got the money like VCs do.
Well, I tell you, I've got rules of life. Rule number 1, be lucky. Rule number 2, don't get caught.
Yeah.
And so he broke rule number 2. He got rule number 1. He nailed rule number 1.
Yeah.
Definitely very lucky. But so what basically happened with
Well, lucky and unlucky. Had he just been able... It's like so many entrepreneurs in the 80s, because they cop these 16, 17% interest rates. Like Christopher Skase, John Spaulding's who ran ads team. John Spaulding's at one point owned Woolworths, David Jones, a bunch of breweries. Like this is worth like $100 billion now, but like interest rates got him and timing got him. So Sam Bankman-Fried was just no different to all these entrepreneurs from the 80s who just got hit by interest rates. He's got hit by just a bad. He was pretty dodgy in taking money from left to right.
You shouldn't minimise the fact that he did commit a crime. He did take investor money from where they had invested it to his own personal stuff.
Yeah.
We can debate whether his intention was to put it back or not.
But what he did was right. Had he been able to stick with it, it would have been one of the best investments of all time.
Another way of saying it is, had the fraud have been detected today, investors would have said, you know what? Just sell the stuff and give us our 10x return.
No, he would have just sold it and not told anyone.
Probably. Yeah. Probably. And so the difference between him and Bernie Madoff, other than I think like the premeditatedness of the crime, is that Bernie Madoff never had any chance of making back the money, whereas Sam Bankman-Fried's 10x the money in the last 3 years.
More than 10x.
And meanwhile, this guy is writing his memoirs in jail for the next 25 years. It's a crazy story.
Yeah.
It's a crazy story. I say this somewhat flippantly, not to diminish the crime, but because in Michael Lewis's book, he said he doesn't think Sam Bankman-Fried had the intention of perpetrating crimes. It wasn't premeditated. He doesn't diminish that he did perpetrate a crime, but it's just an incredibly crazy story.
It's ridiculous. When I saw the Anthropic $1 trillion valuation, I should say, or mooted $1 trillion valuation, that's the first thing I thought of. God, how much would Sam Bankman-Fried have made?
Well, just those 6 investments have 10x'd all of the money that investors got back in three years.
And remember, this is a period where basically every venture capitalist in the world has done that. Like, unless you invest in like a Canberra in Australia, it went terrible. And look, the US VCs have been pretty bad as well. So, and forget Europe. Europe's a laughing stock. So, like, no VC in the world has come close. I don't have to be a VC in the world that's even 1x their fund since then, let alone 10x'd it.
Well, what's crazy about it is this. If we just say, out of 10, what's the hotness factor of these investments? Anthropic, 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Cursor,
10 out of 10. SpaceX, 10 out of 10. Yeah. Robinhood was super hot and everyone thought it died, but it didn't. It gave him 7.5 times his money. It's not that hot. Solana.
It's 8 out of 10.
Yeah, yep.
Solana, 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Genesis Digital. Well, you thought that was dead. That might be 1 out of 10, right?
No, that's still 7 out. It's still 3x'd.
Still worth $3.5 billion of. I mean, the guys basically 3 years ago picked pretty much the hottest stocks in the hottest sector that you possibly could.
Unbelievable.
It is crazy.
I didn't realise he had Cursor as well. That's phenomenal.
He was seed round Cursor.
This is like the best Sequoia fund ever.
Yeah.
And the best benchmark. Sequoia benchmark kind of considered the 3 best VC funds ever. None of them come close to this. Even like that great Sequoia fund. Like it took them 10 years to get, and they still didn't get this.
This is hot. I don't know what this guy did in a previous life, but like he must have done something terrible because not only is he gone to prison, but he has to watch this immense fall. This could be one of the richest people on planet Earth.
It would have been.